Hello, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona, and hopefully today with our bets and your bets, it's going to be another profitable day. November 15th, NBA and college basketball, lot of games. Friday Cup games, so we're back into all the Cup games in the NBA, and big night for college basketball as well. So hopefully you guys had a great Thursday with Thursday night football, college and pro, and then a little light on the basketball schedule, but that's all right. They're making up for it today. Let's get started with the slate. We're going to get started off in college as we'll get going here. First game, 5 o'clock Eastern time, Villanova hosting Virginia. Obviously, Virginia, new head coach as Mr. Bennett steps down. Villanova, solid. As always, playing at home, only given 4. We'll lay the 4 points. Villanova -2.5 first half and -4 for the game. Next game up, one of the biggest matchups so far this season in college basketball. We've got at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Number 2, Alabama travels to West Lafayette to play Purdue. Alabama here favored by 2.5. The money keeps going this direction as well. Purdue ranked 13th in the country. Obviously, no more Zach Edey. Alabama's just been a little shaky from 3 so far this season. They're a great ball club. Are they number 2 in the country? I don't think they're quite there, to be really honest. Now, are they a top 8 team? I think so. Purdue, I think, is also somewhere around that mix, top 8, top 12. And to be really honest, it is hard to win in West Lafayette. You ask all the Big Ten teams, when they got to travel to Purdue, that is not an easy place to win. Hard to shoot there. We think Alabama has some issues with that, so we love Purdue in this spot at home plus the points. Purdue plus 1.5 in the first half and plus 2.5 for the game. Next game up, Arizona. And they have been very, very, very good so far this season. This is going to be at, I believe, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Travel to Wisconsin on this one. They're a 4.5-point favorite. Wisconsin's projected, middle of the pack, roughly in the Big Ten. Arizona's going to be one of the best teams in the best basketball conference this season, and that's the Big 12. I mean, you've got Kansas, you've got Arizona, you've got Baylor, you've got Iowa State, who's dominant. You got three teams in the top 10 right now with Arizona, and Iowa State and Kansas. But we really like Arizona to go on the road, get this thing done here. Arizona -2.5 first half and -4.5 for the game. Ohio State and Texas A&M, next one up. That game also at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Let's see, Ohio State getting 5.5 on the road. They went to Vegas, won a big game already here. Against a ranked opponent. They're up to 21st, and Texas A&M ranked 23rd in the country. A&M has struggled to score, put it mildly, even against some definitely weaker competition here. Give us Ohio State plus the points. So Ohio State plus 3.5 first half and 6.5 for the game. And last college basketball game we're on, Gonzaga at home is always a great bet. Now, unfortunately, the Arizona State bet didn't work out, but the one against Baylor did, as they beat Baylor by 40. But Arizona State, they still won the game, just didn't cover. They're favored by 24.5 over UMass Lowell on this one at home. We like Gonzaga here, -12.5 first half and -24.5 for the game. Let's get into that NBA slate. Like I said, it is a big one. Let's see, 5, 6, 12 NBA games. So let's get started with that matchups here. So 76ers Magic, game 1. Still no Paolo Banchero. Joel Embiid and Paul George supposed to play here. No Tyrese Maxey. This is going to be the 7:10 Eastern games, as we've got 3 of them in this time slot. Magic are 1.5-point favorite at home, 212 total. It's hard to kind of tell exactly what we're going to get with Embiid. He did not have a gangbuster first game out here. Although with Embiid in the lineup, it did loosen up everything for a lot for Paul George in that one. So we do have player props in this game is the way we're attacking it. Jalen Suggs over 16.5 points. Like I said, his point production has been pretty steady since Banchero's been out of the lineup, as he's been asked to take on more of the offense. But Jalen Suggs also 3+ threes. Paul George 4+ threes in that one as well. Next game up, Miami Heat and Pacers. Pacers at home, 4-point home favorite here against the Heat. Tyler Hero almost got him a win the other night as he sunk 10 threes, 38 points against the Pistons in overtime, but they did lose on the road. Now they got to go face Indy. Indy's got a couple injuries going on. Nemhard's hurt. Neesmith's hurt as well. Mathurin, though, by the way, has been playing extremely well. Halliburton still hasn't found his stroke yet. Don't know what's going on there. Miles Turner's definitely not having the year he did last year. The Pacers team in a little bit of disarray, and that's probably being pretty polite for what we've seen from them. But just player props for us in this one as well. Mathurin, 20-plus points and 2+ threes. Tyler Hero, we'll go back to the well, 4+ threes. Not as heavy as a bet as we had the other night when he sunk those 10, but 4+ threes for Hero as well. Next game up, Pistons travel to Toronto to face the Raptors. The Pistons, don't look now, but the Pistons are 5-6. When was the last? How long did it take them to win 5 games last year? Wasn't it like almost freaking January? Playing much better. 1.5-point road favorite here. Not saying they're making the playoffs, but I think definitely got a chance, maybe 30, 32 wins, somewhere in that range. I would think would be a good possibility. 225 total in here. We actually like the Pistons quite a bit. As Toronto struggled mightily home and on the road to get any wins. I mean, they're down Scotty Barnes, obviously, who's probably their best player. He's still going to be out for another week at least. And then, they have a lot of other injuries. Emmanuel Quickley, he's on the injury list for probably another week as well. So they're definitely fighting the injury bug plus the lack of talent early. But Pistons money line first quarter, Pistons money line first half, Pistons money line for the game. Cade Cunningham, 25 points. And we'll play Cade Cunningham under 4.5 turnovers. And Cade Cunningham for 2+ threes in that one there. Next game up, Bulls, Cavs. Cavs, congratulations for the start of the season you guys have had, Cavs. You've been fan-frickin-tastic. 13-0, 10.5-point favorite at home against the Bulls. The Bulls have actually beaten some of the better teams. I mean, some of the brand name teams, and I can't figure out what the hell they're doing. Zach LaVine and Vucevic has had a nice start to the season. Vucevic has had some, LaVine's had some good plays or good games as well. So it's good to see those guys playing well. Obviously, they got rid of DeMar DeRozan in the offseason. Lonzo Ball continues to be out again after he played a few games after being out a couple years. This one here, player props for us again in this one here. We got Zach LaVine, 20+ points and 3+ threes. Vucevic over 17.5 points and 10+ rebounds. He has been cashing both his point total and rebound total for us quite a bit as of late. Darius Garland over 6.5 assists. Next game up, we're still at that 7:40 time slot. Lakers, Spurs in San Antonio. So the Lakers' home road splits have been unreal. They are so good at home and so bad on the road. Now they're traveling to San Antonio. And don't look now, folks. Last 2 games, Wembanyama's had 36 and 50 points. Rebound totals are still garbage. Block totals aren't what they were last year. I figured maybe people figuring out how to actually shoot shots against Wembanyama here. Like I said, Spurs 3.5-point home dog. We're actually going to roll with the Spurs just due to the fact that the Lakers have been so bad on the road. Spurs +1 in the first quarter, 2.5 first half, 3.5 for the game. Wemby 25+ points. We'll go back to the well there again. Over 40.5 par. That cashed well easily last time. Wemby 3+ threes. He has hit a bunch of threes here in the last few games. Wemby 4+ blocks as well. Next game up, Wizards at the Hawks. So Hawks somewhere between. I'm sorry, we missed the game. My apologies. Let's start that over. How about Nets at the Knicks? The Knicks have struggled. They just lost to the Bulls. Monster night by Karl Anthony Towns. They got a bunch of guys on the game time decision on the injury list. The Nets have been one of the best cover teams in the NBA. Not necessarily winning everything, but keeping it within these bigger point spreads that they're getting. 10 points here, 215.5 a total, and all they have to do is drive across town. Give us the Nets +2.5 first quarter, 5.5 first half, and +10 for the game. Dennis Schroeder, 15+ points. Cam Thomas for 3+ assists has cashed for us in multiple games in a row. And then we've got Cam Johnson for 3+ threes. Now let's get to the Wizards game. Wizards traveling to Atlanta. They're a 9-point dog on the road, 238.5 total. So the Hawks were horrible then against the number. Now all of a sudden have covered a couple numbers, a little up and down as you kind of can, that's what to be expected with the Hawks, right? Wizards don't play much defense, but the one consistent guy that's done really well for us in tickets this year has actually been Jordan Poole. So just a couple player props for us in this one. Jordan Poole, 20+ points. We stayed away from the threes as he's finally gotten to 4. And then Jalen Johnson for the Hawks at 20+ points as well. Next game up, Thunder, Suns. Suns won every close game there was to start off the season. Now all of a sudden Durant's out, Beal's out. They have got injuries again. This is kind of where they probably start to go sideways just a shade. Basically, it's Booker, Tyus Jones, Nurkic. That's what they're really working with here. So their depth's really in question at the moment as well. Give us the Thunder here. I know we're down Chet Holmgren. They can figure out how to play with Chet. They can play small ball pretty damn well. Thunder -2.5 first quarter, -4.5 first half, and 7.5 for the game. SGA, who's finally had to bump up the scoring here, 30+ points, 2+ threes, and Jalen Williams, 2+ threes. Also, Booker's getting a lot of double coverage, so 6+ assists for Booker. And Tyus Jones over 1.5 turnovers as he's having to deal more and more with the ball. More opportunities for turnovers in that one as well. Next game up, Nuggets, Pelicans. Right now it is Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, and not much else for them. The Pelicans have had, Zion's out, CJ McCollum's out, DeJounte Murray's out, Herbert Jones is hurt. Jose Alvarado's out for extended periods of time as well. We don't even know what's going to happen with Zion, how long he's out, just indefinite. Pelicans are at home, but the Nuggets are a 6-point favorite. Here's my only concern is the Nuggets have fallen behind on the road almost every damn game and fallen down early, but they should be able to beat up this team that has got this serious injury bug here with the Nuggets. So give us the Nuggets -1.5 first quarter, 3.5 first half, 6 for the game. Jokic, 29+ points. Jokic, 14+ rebounds. And Brandon Ingram, who's having to control the ball a lot of the game, over 4.5 turnovers. Next game up, Clippers, Rockets in Houston. James Harden going back to Houston game. Rockets about 4.5-point favorite here at 8:10 Eastern time, 215 total. So the Rockets they're a good ball club. Jalen Green's been a little bit of an enigma over the last few weeks. I don't know if he's hurt or not saying anything, but the point productions really went down. The shot selection's not been as good. Still playing pretty solid defense, and they're getting scoring from other spots. But a little concerned about what's going on with Jalen Green. After he started off the season, the first few games out of the chute, scoring damn near 30 points every night. Now getting 20 seems to be a struggle. But we still like the Rockets in this mess. It's still James Harden and not much else on that team. So give us the Rockets -1.5 first quarter, 2.5 first half, and 4 for the game. Sengun over 18.5 points. And our biggest bet of the night, Sengun, 10+ rebounds. Harden, 3+ threes, and over 3.5 turnovers. Next game up, Warriors, Grizzlies. Warriors come off the big win against Dallas, and then Dallas went and laid an egg last night at Utah as well. What a road trip for the Mavs. They've got some stuff to figure out, definitely. But the Warriors, obviously the record's been tremendous so far this season. Steph Curry's played well. Draymond's played well. Andrew Wiggins has showed up. They've got some pieces. Kuminga's still a weird piece to me that I don't know if, they didn't sign him to a contract extension before the season started, kind of make him prove it type of year. So now I don't know if he's going to be there after this year, coming off in the bench in some spots. But to be really honest here with the Grizzlies and the amount of injuries that they have again, this team was injured last year, and it just seems to be continuing. More player props for us in this one. Curry over 26.5 points and 5+ threes. It is getting juicy at 5+ threes, just to let you know. A lot of people are going to play 6 to get a little bit of plus money, but 6 is a ton, folks. I know it's Steph Curry, but it is a bunch. Draymond over 20, or how about 6.5 assists? Sorry about that one there. Next game up and the last game on the board. Let's get to it. T-Wolves and the Kings. Kings come off a nice win against Phoenix and covered a big 7.5-point number. And the Timberwolves laid some eggs against Portland. This is basically the easiest way to say this. Minnesota's favored by 2.5 going into Sacramento. 10:10 Eastern time, 222 total. Minnesota, I think, needs to really kind of get back to what they were last year, a more defensive team if they're going to try to rally to get wins. But they've turned into a major three-point shooting team. Is basically what they've turned into. No Naz Reid props on the board. Not sure if he's questionable for the game. But we do have just player props for us in this one. Ant-Man, 25-plus points, 4+ threes, 6+ rebounds. De'Aaron Fox, 2+ threes. And Julius Randle for 20+ points. All right, so we just went through a ton of bets. How do we get a chance to take a look at all those bets? No problem at all. We've got them posted in multiple spots online. TikTok and YouTube channel pages, as well at the end of every episode on YouTube. It's a link to our Google Sheets, docs.google.com/spreadsheet. Click on the link. And then once you get in there, the basketball 2024-2025 tab, scroll down to November 15th. You'll be able to see all the bets we made, what juice we got those at, how many units we wagered, and what book we placed them at. So feel free to check that out when you have some time. We have a lot of action going on our show. So this is a fantastic reference guide in order to help you figure out exactly where all the bets. And the unit sizes definitely vary. So obviously the higher the unit size, the more we like the game and the bigger the play. All right, do you like the content you're seeing here and want to see some more? We'd love to have you along for the ride. All you need to do is hit follow or subscribe, depending on the social media platform you're watching us on, and we'll show up in your follow or subscriptions tab when we drop a new episode of bets like this one. Also, tons of promo bonus bets to give away from our partners to you. We're in 49 out of 50 states with this. Everywhere but Nevada, we have online casinos, sports books, fantasy sites. Just depending on what your state law allows is what we've got available. So make sure you check that out. 2 spots online, TikTok and YouTube channel pages. The website address is bit.ly/sportsbetsforfree-bh. Also, private Discord channel is available for all of you out there. Do you want some help sports wagering? Do you want to make money at this and make it more fun? We try to lay out a pretty simple formula. We'd love to have you on the private Discord channel. All you need to do is hit subscribe to us on TikTok. Yes, it is a few bucks a month. We're cheaper than Netflix, and we're going to, at the end of the season, you stick to what we have, you're going to make money. We've been doing it for years this way, and it's been successful. We'd love to have you along for the ride for it as well. We do baseball, basketball, football, and, like basketball, obviously college and pro like this, football, college and pro. UFC, we've got some plays coming up as well. Even Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, we've got a little bit of handicap going on there as well. So we'd love to have you on the Discord channel. Subscribe to us through TikTok at Sports Bets for Free. Once you do that, we will message you with the link for the Discord channel as well. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.